No more QAnon. Here we go. And welcome everyone to the Mechanics Institute on this Tuesday evening, February 16th. We are here for round 3 of the Tuesday night marathon. And joining me to call all the action is Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. How's it going, guys?
Hanging in there. Thank you.
And
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's an exciting round because we have big matchups just in this round, and we have 2 rounds tonight. So that's pretty exciting. Time control is game in 35 with a 2-second increment. And the 4th round is going to be at 8 p.m. But we are here in round 3. And on the top board, as you can see right here, we have International Master Josiah Stearman playing Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman. How are you doing, guys? And what do you think so far?
It's a tough pairing for Josiah, but, we've always rooted for him throughout the years at the Mechanics.
And Josiah, part of the UC Berkeley Chess Club that just finished winning the U.S. Amateur Team West. Although it wasn't his team that won, but as they say, a win for one team is a win for everyone. So they're champions. And I just saw that he's actually registered to play the U.S. Amateur North. That'll be this weekend. So he's on a team. I don't think it's a UC Berkeley team, but I'm not 100%. But he's taking a shot at the North. But yeah.
Well, this is an interesting time for chess players, especially people trying to get norms and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there are some places where they are having norm events. It's been slowed down because it's harder to travel and whatnot. But Charlotte's been having a lot of norm tournaments. There may be some other clubs that have norm tournaments very soon, closer to our area. Stay tuned for that. And
is Josiah losing a piece here, Nick?
Oh, sorry. Let me, wasn't up yet. You can't lose it that quickly. It's not allowed.
Well, let's see. If Queen D4, Knight C6, Queen back to E3, D4. If Knight D4, Pawn E5, attacking the Knight. I think Josiah is losing a piece, but he may have some compensation, but...
Sorry, someone
has fallen into a trap?
Oh.
He may have fallen into an opening trap.
That is tough, right? He's just going to shove the pawn forward now.
He's going to get a couple of pawns for it, but
it wasn't a planned.
Probably not.
And even Mike Walder and Raymond 12 are in the chat. Ouch.
Boy, that
Oops.
Looks like a piece, yeah, but it's 2 center pawns, so that's almost compensation.
He's certainly going to have to work a whole lot harder now.
Who's on
Really,
board
he
too?
didn't expect it.
Well, we'll keep an eye on. Well, let's see. He's just played Knight F5. Does that change it?
So he must see a way of saving a piece then. D4.
D4, Queen G5? No. D4.
I mean, he could have gotten 2
I
nice
can take
center
on F5
pawns.
and play. Oh, I see. I mean, you know, if this fails spectacularly, it's going to feel very similar to my chess. You know, go out in a blaze of glory, hang your pieces, and, you know, hope for something.
Well, let's check in board 2 as we wait to see how this develops. This is Grandmaster Gadir Gusainov playing white against international master Eliot Winslow.
Now, these guys are practically old-time rivals now.
They play so much now at the mechanics. Now, the last game that they played was in the Thursday night marathon, and Eliot was done in about 15 minutes. And that was a game in 60 plus 5 match. And he was done in 15 minutes. So, how's it look here?
Eliot can guard the e-pawn with rook to e8, and it's looking fairly solid.
Yeah, I'm with Nick here. You know, my comments now are going to be like, you know, whatever the Grandmaster says, you know?
We'll be blundering soon enough, Paul.
I'm with him, I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm with him.
All right, on board 3, we have a rematch of a game that happened in the previous Tuesday night marathon. White is FIDE Master Eric Yuhan Lee playing FIDE Master Kyron Griffith. And in that one, I think Kyron caught Eric with some tactical shots and ended the game early. But Eric's got white now. And Eric played d4. I wonder if he was trying to avoid Carol Khan and things that are in Kyron's wheelhouse.
Kyron's got a pretty aggressive.
Oh, and
I think
while they're saying Eric plays d4 as a regular.
Yeah, it looks about even. That, you know, black's got squares.
One of those typical.
Yeah, nothing better than a cheap threat.
So all
White is probably going to play what, King F2 here or something like that.
I like your King F2.
Now, let me jump back to board 1 just to see how this is played out.
Definitely.
Now, this is me talking. I'm 1800, right? But if Josiah goes Queen G3 and Black takes the knight, well, he didn't do that. I was wondering if he could play F6 then.
The
knight can go to G6.
Yeah.
I thought his idea was Queen to E4 to kind of go on.
But then D takes C3 would just be crushing, right?
It's like 2 pieces for a rook or something.
I mean, Josiah's just lost here. I think.
This was he should have taken the 2 center pawns for the piece. That would have been still unclear. I mean, worse but unclear. This just looks completely hopeless.
I think Lenderman just has to be a little careful here to avoid the usual Josiah mix-it-up thing here.
Good point. This is Josiah, and he's cheap. He's tactical. He'll slime you when you least expect it.
Right.
But Lenderman is so good.
Well, Lenderman's Lenderman, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is and plus, look at all the time that Black has to think these through, you know. So White has the idea of playing F6. Oh, this is a nice move. Knight E7, C6. That just takes the sting right out of F6 and everything.
Not at all worried about the.
I mean, White could practically resign this. Just bad.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Knight
Tough
C,
one.
Knight c6 is a very nice move. It just underscores.
And he has resigned it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tough one. Let's go back to where did it go wrong? Because here we are. I mean, everything looks normal, right?
Is there such a thing as normal chess?
And I guess
Yeah, Queen E3 looks like it's a little bit slow, probably.
And Stearman's in the chat.
C5 is a nice move. It's like black's hitting the center well enough, and
yeah, C5 is a.
And Stearman's in the chat saying he completely hallucinated. He played knight GE2. He played knight GE2, and when he knew it was bad, I'm wondering that was this move right after.
Yeah, well, it's just momentum at this point, probably.
Yeah, but like Josiah, we have a question for you. After knight G2, you're dropping a piece, but still, why not just, okay, like some people we've been seeing recently with lost positions, you fight on and, knight takes D4, E5, just C takes D5, and okay, it's 2 center pawns for a piece.
C takes D5.
Josiah, we've seen you win much worse positions.
I'm wondering if that just would have felt like a big grind while down the
table. There is that go out in a blaze of glory kind of thing. I perfectly understand that.
So hopefully bounces back. Yeah. He thought knight F5 would spice it up, so he was looking to put some chili powder on it and see what would happen. So let's check board 4. Grandmaster Jim Tarjan and Guy Argo.
Yeah, dark squared bishops exchange, so white is at least nominally better.
And maybe Tarjan's playing this now because Pinto gave him such a lesson with it.
Yeah, that was quite a game. Mark Pinto, somewhat worse, but fighting hard, and then actually turned it around, and Tarjan was lucky to get the draw.
Maybe this is the wave of the future. This blockaded center like this, stonewall for both players. Every once in a while I'd play the King's Indian reversed or something like that, and somebody would just copy me. I'd play E4, they'd play E5, and it's like, what do you do in a situation like that? They're not, and it's like this too. Is it, should I exchange on E5 or not, or play knight E4, or,
Yeah, but white's got real chances for an advantage. You can play against the bad light squared bishop. He's got some ideas of pawn to G4 action on the king side. So only white can be better.
And if you're watching in the chat, I put in the link where you can see the standings and the pairings. Get information on the Tuesday night marathon. This is round 3.
This should be a national heritage tournament. It's been held since 1972. It's
they should put a sign in the chess room like with the California historical landmarks. Just Tuesday night marathon.
So white should take here on E4 with the bishop, right?
Or you could castle and just delay that.
Right, that's true. It's not going to go away.
on to C. Well, oh, sorry, Queen H4 check is a threat. You need to do something.
I forgot that old thing about Bobby Fischer saying black was better in these symmetrical positions.
And let me flip to this game because this is pretty interesting. It's in the open section. Nicholas Wang is playing white against Chelsea Joe, and look at this.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Wow, this is right out of the sharpest possible variation of the Sicilian defense.
Well, I have to tell you, this position is theory.
Is that right?
You can find it in among some places MCO, which, Beth Hartman, of course, would know it then.
as would Nick DeFermian.
Yeah. Well, I only have the Idiot's Guide to Chess, so.
Well, that's too advanced for us, so we.
Speaking of which, the Idiot's Guide, Grandmaster Patrick Wolf had a birthday yesterday. So
wow.
Happy birthday to our chair of the chess committee at the Mechanics Institute.
How old is the young man?
I don't know, and even if I did, I think I don't know.
My guess is 39.
Yeah, probably right. That's a good one.
Like Jack Benny, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so what's the book here, Nick, after pawn to h6?
Bishop to h8 and
forced, huh?
Well, best, and then I think it's bishop to d5 first. Sometimes it can be pawn to h7 check, but
it's interesting. These young players. I mean, these are two raw talents here.
Yeah,
playing this incredibly sharp variation.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. I was excited when I saw this pairing. Let me flip over to this game and take a look because this is exciting. Going to this game, white is Chess Life editor John Hartman, who joined the TNM late. He is playing Daniel Lynn.
How about that?
So welcome, John, to the TNM.
Well, both players have played a very careful game here. Looks about even.
Yeah, maybe
I
it's
say that
better
sometimes.
for white.
It looks about even, and then I see somebody's a piece ahead. But not in this case.
And let's go back to board 2 and check in on Eliot Winslow and Gadir Gusainov. And it looks like Gadir got a pawn somewhere, somehow.
Oh, no.
So, Abel, Gadir has just been tearing up the TNMs in a lot of the tournaments, hasn't he?
He has. Lenderman's the only one that's been able to slow him down. And by slow him down, it's they'll agree to a draw and then split first. But
yeah.
But with Stearman around and Kyron and Eric Lee and Jim Tarjan, there's a lot of opportunity for someone to take it to him. Eliot's gotten a draw, as has Mike Walder, as you mentioned.
Michael Walder's drawn him twice.
And should have won 2 times.
Eliot's got an uphill battle here, although this is, Eliot also has played him toughly. But what happens here? King h1, black has got a lot to prove here. His rook on f4 is intake.
Yeah, he's just a pawn down. There's no compensation. But okay, it's the game continues. So if you have 20, 30 more moves, maybe something can happen.
They're just pushing wood here, or pushing what's the expression when they're playing online? It's not pushing wood.
Pushing. I don't know.
Also on Thursday night, Michael Walder clicking mice.
Clicking mice?
Clicking mice. It's not pushing wood, it's clicking mice.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's take a look at the top board in the under 1800 section. And that is this game, Patrick Donnelly playing white against Jahan Ansari. And Jahan is up a pawn, but what do you think of this win hour?
There's some play for white on those dark squares. Pieces can move around. So, yeah, we're going to see some excitement here.
Now, this is one of those things where losing the pawn on c2 doesn't look so bad.
Yeah,
I never understood the French defense. I guess Lenderman can explain it to me one day. No, is it Lenderman who plays the French? Yeah, I think so.
I've seen him play it. Yes, I don't think it's his go-to.
And then there's
oh, wait a minute.
Oh, what's that Grandmaster that works for Google that lives in the area?
Conrad Holt.
Holt. Yeah, he plays a good French defense too. Well, this is interesting. What's going on with Tarjan?
Let me flip to that game. Well, I have to. That is this game here.
Jesse Cries, another French player. Here we go. Good Knight versus Bad Bishop. Although that might be hard to prove.
And then the bishop may not be bad forever if those pawns can go to dark squares on b6 and c5.
Another game that Tarjan doesn't look like he's gotten that much out of, but it's difficult. This is a tough one.
Yeah, he's got this now kind of slow style in the opening.
But c5 looks premature, right? Can white play c4 here, maybe? I don't know.
Certainly starts the action off.
Yeah, this is getting you know, Black's playing this game like it's a race car driver or something. Wait a minute, he is a race car driver.
Oh, you called it, Paul. That's a move, hitting the center. Wow. Is it good is the question.
Well, what's Black going to do? Rook d8?
Your rook d8, you could also go pawn takes c4, queen c2, pawn to b5.
Ah, there you go.
But that might get messed up with pawn to a4.
Knight c3.
No, c4 is taking the challenge. What does Black do with his pawn structure? Like, as you say, rook d8. Well, that's possible. Pawn takes t5, pawn takes t5. White's got those pass d and f pawns, but they're hard to move also.
And let me do a check on the Eric Lee Kyron Griffith game. Here is
Yeah, that's a game that could get interesting. And Kyron cleverly has this endgame thing going, or tries to. Oh, Eric's played this. Interesting.
and on move 17, White's king's on f4.
If it was on G7 now, Black could resign probably.
I'm not sure. You might get a checkmate or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yes, Black's got some dark squares. Maybe.
Yes. I think I'd rather be Black here. Although, yeah. White has to try something like E5 and knight E4. Or, I don't know. If I'd be White, I'd be frustrated that I was going to get some positionally lost game here.
It's hard for White to hit at something, and that bishop on D1. What's its role in the game? If it goes on
King E5. King E5, great move. Yeah.
Is that easy to play when it's not your pieces, or what? No, followed by bishop G4.
Yeah, it could be. King E5 if knight E6, bishop G4. I like that idea.
King E5, you defend the knight with rook to D8.
Yeah, I think King E3 is a little safer.
Let me move over to board 2 and with Gusainov and Eliot's game. Do you think? How do you like about Eliot's method of fighting back here?
Well, he's moved forward with the pawns. At least he has the pawn center.
This reminds me of that other Eliot Gusainov game where Eliot drew with the active pawns in the middle. Well, something has got to give here. I guess Black should play D4, right? I mean, he's not going to get anywhere by playing E4, so. And now he has to bring that rook at F5 into the game somehow.
Yes, it's, those pawns look impressive on E5, D4, but they just don't seem to go anywhere.
Yeah. Still better for White.
And let's go do a check here on the game with Nicholas Wang and Chelsea Joe.
That was a dragon, theoretical dragon. Is this still book, Nick?
Okay, it may have been H6 check, knight takes bishop D5 first, but I think this has also been played. Where the idea is E6 traps the bishop, but H6 check, and then you'd have to take with the king because the knight on F6 is pinned, and pawn to H5 pries open squares on that side. So
this is just as wild as it can be. So does Black, can Black take twice on D5?
Oh, knight takes D5, pawn takes, rook takes D5. Interesting. Yeah, that's I think probably H6, H7 check was a better move.
The knight to E2?
Yes, but let's see. Knight takes D5, pawn takes, rook takes D5. Hmm.
I mean, I'm just looking at the obvious captures. That's maybe why don't play queen takes b4 there or something.
Yes, although that's kind of the wrong side of the board. You really want to head for that king side.
So let me do a check-in on Jim Tarjan and Guy Argo. Looks like Argo is up a pawn for the moment, but the pawn structure is what it is. But what do you guys think?
That e4 pawn looks like a goner. And that's a lovely spot for a knight.
Yeah.
This is bad for black, I think.
That's a prime square. Yeah.
Once that knight gets to e4, looking at d6, maybe f6.
And Gonzalo in the chat also, d6 looks like the landing spot. The goal.
The landing spot for the donkey.
Exactly. And then the mama's going to come in, and it's going to be all kinds of damage.
Yeah, I'm almost about to declare this game good night.
Good night.
Yeah, this is a good night. You know, not good for Guy Argo.
Here is a another sharp game. This is in the open section. Kalen Melville against Vishwa Nanuganda. And Gonzalo ended up in 10th place. He was playing in the championship of Uruguay.
Wow, congratulations.
So 7 qualified to move on, but he finished 10th, so he stopped just short of the finals, but fantastic. And he actually sent me some pictures, and he's going to write a little article that we'll include in the newsletter about his experience playing it. So.
Terrific.
So what do you think of this position?
Let's talk about the World Cup. And Uruguay winning the World Cup back in 1930.
30 years. That's right.
Oh, it was an over-the-board tournament.
Yeah, 100 participants. Mm-hmm. Socially distanced with the masks and the everything. And we got the pictures, and we'll include them in the newsletter.
The pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
Who is 3KE310 again?
That is move 3, King E3, 1-0. White wins. That's what that is. And that is Vishwa Nanuganda. About 1800 level player. Scholastic player. Young talent.
Nick, we have the strongest 11-year-old girl in the country playing in this tournament.
And she actually withdrew.
Oh, no.
It's kind of late for her because it's 6:30 for us, but I think it was 9:30 for her.
Oh, okay.
That was a challenge. So,
what time
Paul,
is it?
Would you let your daughters stay up after 9:30 when they were 11?
When she was 11? Did I have any choice?
You're assuming he had a say in that.
What time is it for Gadir?
Sheesh. I mean, Azerbaijan, right? So, isn't it early morning over there?
Wow.
Just basically rolls out of bed and then just wins the marathon. That's what he does. So what do we think of this game? Or should I switch it?
You know, this piece sacrifice must be unsound if you have lots of time to play, but with rapid chess, those knights, that pawn, lots of try and open the king side there.
Yeah, black has some attacking chances here for sure.
Kalen is he's got to watch out.
And this here seems to be the game of the round, or at least the most aesthetically pleasing. So let's Nicholas Wang and Chelsea Joe.
So what move 2 against the Sicilian has the highest winning percentage? So black decides to defend the b4 pawn, and white's pouring it on with knight f4. This is as scary as it gets.
Yeah, so
Queen
black can win a
d6
piece
might have
with
been
pawn.
slow, huh?
Black can win a piece with pawn to e6, but the game's opening up. Of course, black can get some attacking chances too if all those pawns and knights can hop over. That dragon bishop can. But white's the one first to try the attack. Everything up in the middle, those H pawns charging up.
And check out this position. This is also from the 1800 plus. This is David Rakonitz playing white against Alexander Perlov.
Great to see David Rakonitz play. He's such a long-time club member, great guy, and very principled chess player.
And we do have a result, and I'll flip back to this game, but we do have a result. Gadir Gusainov wins against Eliot Winslow, and you'll see the final position here. And
Eliot lost his queen.
and that's enough. That'll do it. So Gadir,
this game probably wasn't promising.
3 out of 3, and going back to Rakonitz and Perlov.
Yeah, I think black might have played bishop takes e5 on the last move. Also, black should consider playing rook takes c5 too. Maybe. TNM 2021.
That's
that's a fan of the chess club.
Yeah, that's I need to create an account, and I only have 1 minute to do it, so I'm just gonna call myself TNM 2021.
That's a great name.
Well, that's like Patrick Wolf for the Amateur West. I think his handle during the Amateur West was US Amateur 2021 or something like that.
Well, this is a tough little game. I mean, black's got some shots here with rook c5 or bishop takes e5, and
so maybe black should retreat with knight e4. White should retreat. Just hold the squares, don't lose a pawn. It's still a little better for white then.
And we're going to take a look back at Eric Lee playing white against Kyron Griffith.
Oh, yeah, that game.
So it looks like the winner of this one, or somebody is able to win, they would join Lenderman and Gusainov with 3 out of 3.
Bishop g4.
But why not bishop g4? Get that bishop active.
Rook g6, c5.
Yeah.
Black may have to give up the exchange after bishop g4. Unless I'm overlooking something. Or rook c7.
Or as you said, like bishop g4, rook d6, d5, rook f6.
Oh, rook f6. Yeah, that's good.
Still looks like black has the dark squares.
Yeah.
And if that knight gets to e5, black's just positionally better.
Well, we're going to see what happens here. White blocks with the knight. That makes sense.
Threatening
This
rook
rook d3
d3.
check. Maybe knight d5 at check right now. Try to change up the character of the position.
Or couldn't black play h5, or would that be a bad idea?
Well, I'm saying maybe white should think about playing knight d5 check. I'm just putting that out there.
Wow.
Takes. That's one pawn for the piece.
Let's start somewhere.
Well, the knight has to move, and then you can take the exchange. I've been playing over all these, or I was thinking of recently, Nick, of all these games where Tal made his favorite sacrifice. What is Tal's favorite sacrifice? Was a rook and a pawn for two pieces. Over and over again, we see Tal with a rook and a pawn versus two pieces. This was like his favorite material imbalance all the time.
Well, Paul, I really like your move knight d5, just like Paul would have made. C takes d5, C takes d5. That knight on e6 goes to somewhere, say d7. Bishop takes rook on d7. You get an endgame with a rook and a pawn against those two knights. But
just like Tal.
I knew you learned a lot when he lit your cigarette there.
That's right, yeah.
Mike saying knight d5, c7. Putting the knight at c7, I'm sure. Or
knight d5, pawn c takes d5, c takes d5, knight c7, bishop takes e7, rook takes d7.
And white just plays that position. I think you got to do something. You don't want to just get murdered positionally here. At least that's my feeling about it.
And look at this here. This is the Jim Tarjan Argo game. And that looks like that is it.
Wow. Mate on
Ouch.
g7 and the queen is threatened.
And Jim with 23 minutes still in the bank.
Black's pieces are all on the queen side there.
Black is going to regret that c5 move, I think. White was better developed, and it was premature to open up the game like that.
That'll be a nice win there for Jim Tarjan. And then back in this game, Kalen Melville White against Vishwa Nanuganda. Those knights look pretty powerful there.
Wow.
But still, White is up a piece, still for the moment.
Jeez, look at this. What a game.
Piece for some pawns, yeah.
Rook f2, queen takes g4. I guess even that's playable, though, right? Because the queen can go back to g8.
With back rank mates, yeah, that's
Well, no, the black queen can go back to g8.
Okay, so you would queen takes g4, knight takes g4, rook e8 check, queen back to g8, take the queen. Maybe bishop takes c6. Yeah, that endgame's not so clear.
Oh, so Guy Argo wanted to go 30 moves against Tarjan?
That was it. He wanted to go. It's like saying you went 15 rounds with Ali, right? And what did he last? Oh, he lasted 24. So
oh no,
24 moves.
Queen takes g4, knight g4.
Oh, sorry. I was just counting moves. Let me go back to that. Here.
Christian Clemens, it's 24 moves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now was that just a blunder though? I mean, you won the night on B7, but your whole attack has gotten screwed up.
White must be close to winning this. I mean, can't he just attack the knight and keep attacking the knight and then just keep attacking it after you attack it?
Queen G3 and the knight can't move because of the pin.
And even Bishop C5, as pointed out by Goko fan, by Mike Walder.
Oh, let's take Mike's move. Yes, that's
a nice move.
You got to leave your queen hanging if you can.
Yeah, that looks like it wins.
Yes.
And Christian Clemens in the chat, you keep playing the TNMs. I have no doubt you'll get your shot against the GMs because we keep getting more and more joining the TNM.
Yeah, no, it's great to see the Grandmasters coming into the Tuesday night marathon and mixing it up with the club players. It's fantastic. It's unprecedented. I mean, the Tuesday night marathon, in all of its existence, probably. Oh, he played knight d5 check.
He played it, and
wow,
here it is, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, it was ripe for that move, knight d5 check. But what about this now, Nick?
No, it's quite unclear. It's before you could definitely say that black was better with those squares. Not tremendously better, but easy to play for black, better dark squares, isolated pawn for white. Now it's just been mixed up, a la Tal. And who is better? Don't know. Chances for both sides.
And Eric's got a little bit more time here. Let's go back to the Action Jackson game here. Nicholas Wang and Chelsea Zhou.
Oh my gosh, that game making my head spin.
Now, just counting, black is up a piece because sometimes you have to count.
Black has just sacrificed the exchange on d5.
Oh, excuse me. You take the rook and exchange ahead for.
I guess White's thinking about taking on g6 first.
But that black king is safe on h7. That often you've done pawn to h7 check in this variation just to keep it all fluid and open lines against the king. So this exchange sacrifice got a lot of point.
This is a very, knight c4 and knight e3, a3 check or some.
And the thing is, Chelsea's under 2 minutes now, though.
Right.
Bill, what's the follow-up exactly here? It's black's not getting checkmated, but white's king knight c4, you can go queen d3.
Yeah, it's not, I don't see any knockout either. Also, the pawn at e7 is hanging. Tough little position.
Going back to the Eric Lee, Kyron Griffith game.
Oh, yeah, those can be strong. And this one on c7, just trying to scarf up a couple pawns on the queen side.
Wow, it's like 2 rooks and then a rook for 2 knights.
What happens on rook b7? I don't see that black has a winning move there. I think Chiron is scrambling for a draw, probably thinking of a draw at this point. This is Eric must be pretty happy with this knight d5 check move, I think, right now. I mean, white may not be objectively winning, but this is what you want. This is so much better than what he had.
Yeah, and he
getting strangled earlier.
More to play.
Yeah. White could win this.
Let's take a look real quick. This is a game we haven't looked at yet. This is Alan Finkelstein playing white against David Askin.
David Askin. Now he just had a great game. Was that against Tarjan and made a draw last?
That's right. Yep.
So white's probably threatening to take on f6 or something. I mean, white better get something going here because black's not only a pawn up, but sort of has this. It's worrisome what's going on the d file. But I guess white's got a lot of dynamic potential here.
And
this is confusing.
And checking in on John Hartman against Daniel Lynn.
Suppose knight c5. So black managed to weaken white's structure somehow by taking something on e3. Black definitely looks better here now. Or I would
just
think
that one
so.
Isolated pawn that white has gives black a little more control of the center.
Yeah, a little better definitely looks a little better for black. But I mean, that's superficial looking at it for 1 second.
Yeah, what's nice though is this is a position without too many tactics. So even 1 second gives you kind of a positional evaluation.
And check this position. This is another game that we haven't seen yet. This is Arthur Liu playing black against Raymond Larden playing white.
So if white takes on d4, then the rook is attacked and the pawn at f5 is lost. In fact, the black rook doesn't even have a square. That's funny.
And let's keep the action now on the Eric Lee Kyron Griffith game because I think this is the game to watch right now. It looks like he's gonna pick up a pawn.
You connect past pawns on the queen side, but Kyron is getting tricky with those knights.
Yeah, you can't count the knights out, but this is an interesting game. So king d4, rook d3 mate is
a nice finish.
So king has to go back, I guess, to e2, and then rook h3 and what? a4, d5. I don't know why. I wouldn't have gone to d2. After well, I guess I think I would have gone to e2.
Probably a little better, but in any case, you probably are taking on h3, pawn to a4.
Oh, black switches it up with rook c4. Maybe that's why he played king to d2 instead.
And just to show a result in that game, Nicholas Wang got the win against Chelsea. And it's really cool because in the game chat, they're discussing the game and going over it.
Oh, wow, that is very cool.
But yeah.
Oh, let's have a look at that. There's so much action in the final moves of that game.
So let's go back here, and then you can
I guess
see.
Black was unable to stem the tide here.
Take. Oh.
What were the moves? Oh, okay. Well, White's definitely getting in here.
Yeah.
Oh.
F4 is crushing.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, knight. Yeah, that's.
And another result here. David Rakonitz gets the win against Alexander Perlov. Is white. And he's going to be winning that bishop soon via the pawn trying to promote. So nice win for Mr. Rakonitz. Back to
Rakonitz.
Rakonitz or Rakonitz?
Rakonitz.
I'm going to take your word for it over Caesar. Caesar used to call him Rakonitz.
Now we remember old Caesar, one of the stalwarts of the chess club, is coming every day.
Even on non-TNM days. Now these pawns are marching along.
Well, those pawns are probably going to cost Black a knight, but then
Yep.
this is just too hard to call. You need like days and a computer and Kasparov or something to figure this thing out.
And hail Caesar in the chat.
We're going to get some rook and knight versus two rooks thing that's going to end up in a 150 move draw.
Yes, well, those pawns will probably cost a knight there. That's hard to believe that you can checkmate with those two knights and such.
Worst case scenario for both players is two knights versus a pawn.
For both players.
And
that king should have been on e2. Oh well.
Certainly here it should be
there would have been other problems, I guess.
Well, you should go king e2 now.
Yeah, and if rook d5, rook d1, maybe?
Yes.
Huh. That's interesting.
Chiron with 2:25 left on the clock.
He's catching up a little bit on the time, isn't he?
Yeah, because Eric is starting to use that time to try to work this position out.
This is a tough one. Both players must be nervous.
It seems like Chiron's king's in a nice spot right there. Close enough to the pawns, but and then
Yeah.
ready to pick up that D pawn when he can.
This has been a well-played game. I've enjoyed this. The players are showing a lot of fighting spirit, and so far there's been no blunders, and everything is sort of on the razor's edge.
You could still see either side winning, although it still feels like white has the better chances.
Interesting. King c2. That's a variation of your king e2. Yeah, rook d5 is probably risky because of rook d1, maybe.
Knight c4, says Walder, as does Daniel Perlov.
Ooh, that's I don't know.
Going straight after the pawns, huh? That's what he played. Look at that, threatening 93 check and taking on a5 and
There's a lot of threats there, huh?
rook f7 though.
There's some chances for white to become really active.
I think white's going to go into f7 and not a1. And rook a1 looks silly to me, but it might be a good move.
Well, what is he trying to do? Grab that A pawn. Against the A pawn, the B pawn is weak, and
Is there some like weird mating net?
I mean, white can't lose after rook takes h7, I don't think. There goes black. Any chance black had to.
Can black mate white? Is there any kind of threat using that combination of
that would be nice, but I don't think he can mate without the help of the black king, which is a bit too far away.
Oh, white switches it up with rook f6 check. Is that good or is that a lemon? I might have taken on h7, but okay, he's threatening rook b6.
Yes, and if knight takes a5, rook takes a5, so that b pawn is causing a lot of trouble.
I'm gonna rewind my
if knight to c
observation.
Right away, that might just block all the pawns.
Black goes for the mate.
right? He's like looking to circle in here.
But doesn't rook b6, is rook b6 just bad?
That's a move, sort of stops the mates for a second and ready to queen the pawn.
Then rook takes b6 and knight d7, maybe? I think this rook b6, black would, if black doesn't, yeah, he plays it. So black is on the precipice here. I don't think he can mate, so he's going to have to switch it up, or maybe knight e3 check and rook c5 is mate. I don't know. Is it? It might be.
This doesn't look like mate. You know, the king, knight e3 check, king c1, rook c5 check, king to b1.
Oh, he goes that way. Yeah, that's right. Ooh. Well, wait a minute. Knight e3, king c1, knight d3 check. Then the king goes to d2.
And the knight comes to c4 and the king to e2. But
wow.
It looks like a lot of checks, but not a mate. So probably
rook takes b6 and knight d7. But then white's going to win with rook a8, right?
Well, then knight on c takes b6.
Oh, he takes this way. What?
What is happening, folks? Because you get a queen, and what's going on?
I think Karen blew it here. Queen, rook check, king d1. What then?
Knight d5, and Caron says, queen? What do I need a queen for? I've played without a queen for a long time.
White just plays king d1 here. Karen didn't have any time. That's the problem.
All right, I'm going on record saying Karen's going to win the game. Queen down.
He has it solved.
Yeah, this is a winning position for black, right? Yeah, well, king t1, it's or king b1. I don't see what black's got.
He goes knight t5, and he says, "Look, I've got 2 knights more than I usually have when I'm a queen down."
Somebody's saying Eric's internet is going to cost him.
Well, I'm looking at the bars.
Oh, Daniel.
The bars look good, so he looks like he's.
The This is quite a win for. I think Kyron just went bonkers there, but it was very difficult to evaluate.
You're not taking me seriously. This game is not over.
Is this one?
But
It's
knight d5. There's no checks right here.
Not yet. Knight d5. Come on, Carol. One move. He did it. He did it.
This is like
Kyron is used to winning these positions, huh?
Oh, there is a check. I didn't see that.
Well,
check.
he's ready to check.
Oh, look at this. This is like the Roman soldiers. They're putting their shields up around the king, right? You got the two knights and the rook shield.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Stuff is happening. But Eric has enough time not to fall for a knight fork.
I'm flabbergasted by this game. Queen b4 met by knight c4 check, I guess. And then rook e5 check. It still looks, it's amazing. These knights are tricky, huh? Amazing.
Yeah. This is crazy. Wow.
Queen a1.
And that is
that
is it. Eric Lee gets the win.
Oh, did he win on time?
No, he resigned. Oh yeah, he ran out of time.
I think Kyron's lost, of course, but
And he is lost according to the engine. Just because I had to see it.
Queen a1 was a good move.
I had to look at it. Fantastic game right there.
Yeah, I think Kyron missed some things, but Eric played an enterprising game.
And fantastic job by Eric, because he got the game back that Kyron beat him on in the last TNM.
And that was with that great move, knight d5 check, a la Paul Whitehead.
Tall Whitehead, yeah. Oh,
Oops.
look at this.
Oops. He's traded into a lost king and pawn ending.
Oh.
Ouch.
Ouch. David's playing a good game here.
Yeah, and the time pressure got to him there a little bit.
Okay, keep fighting. You're lost, but it can be tricky. There's one pawn with a few seconds left.
I think f5 probably not a good move.
Well, I don't know. It should do the trick, but not sure about that.
Oh yeah, sure. This is
Yeah, now this is.
Yeah. Maybe it's simpler than I think. It always is.
There it is. And check this game out with Nursultan Uzakbayev and Sebi Suarez.
Great game by David.
This is playing some great chess.
This is the Sebi Meister, I think, has this one in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just works like knight c5, pawn to b2, knight checks, king c2, sack the knight on b2, king e3, but knight d5 check, and you don't get the last pawn.
And then this is another game of undefeateds in the under 1800 section. Patrick Donnelly and Jahan Ansari. seconds.
White better watch out for rook d1. Probably lost for white, but this could, but
Yeah, king h3. Pray for what you can do.
Oh.
black still needs to find a way in here. Giving up the c pawn might not. Oh no!
What was that?
Oh,
Oh my God!
one of those.
Mouse slip.
This is that's such an online chess move. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like white misses d7 check. Well, black's last chance is some kind of queen mate.
Yeah, that's.
Yikes! That game just the players fell apart.
And that was the time pressure caught up to everyone there.
Yeah. Well, what was that rook d6 move?
it must have been a mouse slip.
Yeah. That's the drama we get in chess now is the mouse slip.
There it is.
Well, white finally finds a way in.
And this might be the last game going. Judith can confirm that. Gotta beware of the stalemate.
Yes. Don't fear the Reaper, but beware the stalemate.
Eating everything.
I predict white wins this.
You're really going out on the limb there, Paul.
Yeah, that was that was certainly the long way to do it. And Sebi did get it done in his game also. Congrats. I am wondering if that might be all the games for the round. And then Judith will get the pairings up, the updated standings, and then round 4.
Do we have Gusainov and Lenderman playing
Well, they're 3-0, but so is Eric
again
Lee.
this round?
Eric Lee's also 3-0.
Okay, so
And Judith
all right,
confirms.
so we won't get Gusainov versus Lenderman.
And let's give Judith 3 minutes, and she said she'll put the pairings up. So if
Pairings.
any of you guys want to take a few minutes while she does that, and then
Do you need to take a break?
Yeah, I'll get something to drink if you guys cover, and then I'll cover you guys.
Yeah, you can take off. We'll
You guys entertain the
entertain
audience.
the masses. Yeah.
All right, and everyone, round 4 around 8 p.m. in about 10 minutes or so, and pairings up shortly.
So, Kyron Griffith goes down to Eric Lee.
Yeah, it wasn't a typical current game.
No,
Usually
he's been
more
playing a little
resourceful.
more fast and loose lately, I think.
Ever since he got that Swindle prize, he just figures he can win anything.
That's right. He went over to the dark side. Yeah. That's what Nick says now.
No, it was true. Someone like Capablanca, he didn't want to. He didn't want to win a game by that method. You know that
And
he
I
got
was
no
just-
pleasure.
And I was just reading something about who was it? Steinitz, the Steinitz Gunsberg match. Let me see if I can find this. there were some funny things up in this World Championship match. Somebody won on time and the other player refused to accept it or something like that. I mean, there was all kinds of weird stuff here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like that.
Gunsberg exceeded the time limit in game 6 and Steinitz refused to claim a win.
Old man.
Yeah, there's all kinds of and then Steinitz didn't show up for game 18, and Gunsberg could have claimed the game but did not. So there was some,
At least a little quid pro quo there.
Yeah.
So the first World Championship match, I mean, there's, of course, the FIDE matches and such things and unofficial ones. But Paul, what would you consider the first World Championship? Would it be Bourdonnais, McDonald, or Morphy, or don't know, Philidor? I don't know any of his matches.
No, I don't think Philidor played any matches that survive like that survive. But I think it's the McDonald-Bourdonnais match that the first official one is the Zucker-Tort versus Steinitz match.
Because Steinitz had the brains to say, hey, this is the World Championship match. I'm the world champion.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's kind of funny. I mean, Anderson and Morphy played a match that might as well have been for the World Championship match as well.
Oh, I certainly consider that a World Championship.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I would definitely consider that. Staunton wasn't nearly as good as Anderson, for one. That fuss about Staunton, I'm not really sure what that was about. I mean, Anderson was clearly the best player on the continent, you know. So, so the Bourdonnais-McDonald match that was a great match. That was an incredible match. And some of those games are of really high quality.
And Paul, are you going to be continuing your tactics from championship matches?
Yeah, finishing, all these, why not? I mean, people seem to like those problems, find the winning move thing. And so we'll do them from the World Championship matches in the newsletter.
And we have the pairings for round 4. Board 1 will be Alexander Lenderman playing white against Gadir Gusainov. Board 2.
Yes, but
board 2 is FIDE Master Eric Lee against Grandmaster Jim Tarjan.
Also good.
Yeah, and board 3, David Askin, who's been playing amazing chess, is playing Kyron Griffith. And then board 4, Eliot Winslow against Jeffrey Wang. And then great matchup on 5, Daniel Lynn against Nicholas Wang. Arthur Liu, Kalen Melville, Javier Silva, David Rakinitz among the games. And then top board on the under 1800 section, Sebi Suarez against Patrick Donnelly, which should be a great game. Battle of 3-0s. And then board 2, Marina Xiao against Aaron Nikoski. And Reka Stare on board 3, playing black against Michael Janetta. So lots of games other than those, and a lot of fun, a lot of action. Going to start at 8 o'clock in the Twitch chat. There it is. You can see for yourself the updated standings and the pairings. And starting in a few minutes. So if any of you guys want to, 4 more minutes, if any of you guys want to get something to drink,
I'll be back.
You may do that.
I will be back.
So what do you think, Nick? Do you think Lenderman and Gadir are gonna fight it out, or are they gonna?
Oh, yeah, I certainly hope so. I'm looking forward to this big heavyweight battle there.
Yeah, come on, throw the sink at each other, right? No
Yeah.
8-move draw. We want to see the action. I know Eric Lee's gonna bring the action to Jim Tarjan, so that should be a fun game. Judith is betting on a GM draw. The over under is probably 12 moves, like Michael Walder. So should we take bets? What's the over under for the number of moves Lenderman Gadir?
Okay. Well, I see Mike
Yeah,
Walder is saying 12 moves, but I'm going to take the over.
you can go over 12. All right, so the over under is 12 moves. 12 moves. You take the under or the over?
So Rika is playing very well these days.
Yeah, she's 2 out of 3 in the under section. It's nice to see her playing too. Judith takes the under on 12 moves. Now the over under for the Eric Lee Tarjan probably be like 45 moves, because Eric Lee's relentless player. He's gonna play all the way, and I don't remember seeing them play online yet ever at the Mechanics. Eric Lee and Jim Tarjan. So I think that's a brand new matchup that we will have. Oh yeah, so Judith is imploring me to update the header so that it says round 4. Let me do that really quick. Thank you very much. See, we need we need outside assistance to remind us because we get carried away in the chess. There we
So
go.
here it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and Alex Lenderman, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that from Gadir's point of view, like I'm waking up. I'm like ready to go. And he's thinking my opponent is it's probably like 11, depending where he's at. It could be 11 p.m. So let me get rid of these games. And Josiah Stearman did withdraw from the TNM following that tough loss to Lenderman there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so understandable. All right, let's prepare. And for anyone watching that wants to follow the games individually, if you just if you're on chess.com and you just put #follow and then space and then put the player's username, their game will pop up if they are playing. So if you want to follow those players, that is the way to do it. And Eric Lee getting white twice in a row this round. Fortune shining on him. The game's about to start shortly, and the games will be popping up. And remember, everyone, and here we go. Lenderman, Gusainov. And you'll see the full board shortly, and here we go.
Well, Lenderman with the white pieces. I think he's going to draw. But we'll see.
Welcome to the start of round 4 of the Tuesday Night Marathon. Top board is Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman and Grandmaster Gadir Gusainov.
Now these guys drew a very quick game the other recently.
Yeah, we were taking bets. The over under is 12 moves. So we're at move 6. We're about to do move 6.
Ooh, Lenderman's already thinking. Yeah, he's wondering, maybe he's wondering about the draw.
And
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna switch just so that we see how the board 2 started between Eric Lee and Jim Tarjan. A Queen's Gambit declined. So
yeah, exchange variation, very solid.
So let's keep it on 1 just to see how this how they decide to play out. This is a draw. Someone in the chat, this is a draw. This is drawn.
What, are you talking about the Tarjan game or?
This game, Lenderman.
Ah.
Oh, he sat there a whole minute.
Are you able to see if there's a draw offer, Abel?
Yep.
Or Judith?
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of decisions at this point, as Walder in the chat.
Well, D5 is the move to so he probably knows everything there is to be played in this position.
Oh, well, he did it. It's kind of an aggressive move.
See, the thing is like with the field that we have, I mean, even agreeing to a draw, you still got to deal with Tarjan and Eric Lee. And Judith has joined us.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Judith.
Judith, chief TD and manager of everything technical.
Yes.
How's everything going?
That's good.
How's the back room and the Skittles room?
Round 4 was amazing. Round 4 was great. Everyone was there. Nobody was missing. Round 3, I don't know. Maybe people had long dinners or something, but I had like 8 players missing.
Oh.
So that's not usual for our Tuesday night marathon.
And for just so people know that when there's a player missing and we're trying to start the game, so for you players that are out doing something else, you create a lot of chaos because we have to move on to other games and start those, but then we have to remember to come back to yours and try that again, and then call you in some cases. So
yeah, and I mean it's fine. The great thing is that I think players are now used to checking in on help desk. And so a few minutes after, like 5 minutes, and the players who are online, they check in, hey, my game hasn't started. So it makes it a lot easier to pair those players up who are online and do like an extra game. Or in this case, round 3 case, actually, I just substituted 2 players, flipped the boards and handled that way so that their games actually count towards the tournament. So it was an easy fix. So
and that was nice that you did that, just to give people a game, right, where they otherwise
and it was like such a coincidence that we had same score and black and white missing, so pairing up the opponent, they didn't even have to sacrifice on colors, and 2 pairs like that in the under section ended up. I had Mike Hilliard troubleshooting his internet connection, so I'm very proud of him too. That able to do that. I mean, these are stressful
Oh,
things,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I am really thankful for the players to communicate and help and work with us so that the tournament can go good.
So this is a big moment in this game right here, because move 12 is coming next.
I think we're going to see the players fight it out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to play.
I know. I think I lost my bet, right?
Yeah, well, not yet. But here's check this game out and check this position out. This is Eric Lee against Jim Tarjan.
Nice. I haven't done my homework though. I haven't copied the game links back, so I'm gonna do that while we are covering the games. So
now this seems,
what opening is this?
This is from a Queen's Gambit.
Oh, this is the Queen's Gambit. That's right.
It says Charusek variation. I don't feel like I've seen this position out of a Queen's Gambit before. It's like new to me.
Black has a big lead in development, and
at the moment, material's equal, but
do you think Eric got taken out of a familiar line here with this?
He's also playing very quickly.
Yeah, they're both blitzing it out. I mean,
there's still plus 30 minutes, right?
Black looks good here after 95, I guess, but
did you guys cover John Hartman game?
Yeah, we saw the first game in the first round. Yeah,
probably he needs to warm up, right?
Gotta warm that up. Yeah, it seemed like he was doing really solidly. He was doing really well, and I think
I mean, he played against Eric, right? That's right?
No, he played Daniel Lynn.
Daniel Lynn, okay.
Yeah, but he's strong.
One of these boys. One of these strong boys.
The kids, playing the kids.
That was a tough game, I bet.
But he's got an interesting matchup this round. He's playing Stuart Katz, so that'll be
nice.
That'll be an even match of even adults playing chess. And moving on to
Katz, isn't he a high school?
No, older
high school player.
Older gentleman
from Sacramento?
No, he's older. Older, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Older than high school.
Okay. I'll double check. I have a vague memory of.
He's definitely an older man.
Okay.
A seasoned,
I think they're
seasoned citizen.
Okay.
And David Askin and Kyron Griffith here.
So instead of F4 was Karpov Sarowan, and maybe that was the last game that we just saw. Kyron's got Black 2 games in a row here.
Well, he got a good opening last game, so he's kind of repeating it, but same variation.
Yeah. Very, very, players around here know their opening theory. Jeez.
Hey, look at this game. This seems like a pretty sharp game for it being this early. This is Kalen Melville, but let me switch the orientation. Arthur Liu's playing white against Kalen Melville out of the Rubinstein French.
That's an opening I always want to punish, the French.
Well, a pawn is a pawn.
Yeah, Black seems to be doing fine here.
I'm gonna take
Arthur
just a
is
short
like
break.
not using any time.
Not at all. It's like 34 minutes still.
Yeah.
White has vague chances here, but without the dark squared bishops, the game is a lot simplified. White might have, something with rook b5 and knight g5 if Black castles or something.
And speaking of a another game of generations here. This is Javier Silva playing white against David Rakonitz.
So Javier is a student of Michael Agner, F1, out of Davis, California. And David Rakonitz is a professional. I think he's a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
And he's always there on our Tuesday night marathons, every Tuesday night. So we certainly miss you guys a lot. So
we'll be back. We will be back.
David's done very well here. He's won the exchange, and actually, it's 2 nights for a rook. Still unclear. King H1.
Oh yeah.
2 nights for a rook. I wonder how that happened. Or 2 pieces for a rook. Interesting.
Actually, Javier is up material.
Yeah.
Let's count the pawns.
Well,
I can count the
start
pawns.
with the pawns. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Queen E2 check, King G1 doesn't do anything. So Black will play G6 maybe or something like that.
And let's go back to board 1 because
White's a little better.
They're on move 13. They are indeed playing.
Judith, you lost your bet.
Yeah, I did.
That's a coffee.
Yeah. So I owe Mike. Mike, I owe you a coffee. Next time you're in Stockton, I'll get you the best coffee.
The best coffee
ever.
in Stockton?
Best coffee ever. No, the best coffee you ever drank.
Ever?
Yeah, I make good coffee.
Okay, it's imported from somewhere. It's not that it exists in Stockton.
Well, I make it, right?
Right, but you get it from somewhere. It's not
the coffee beans from Amazon, Lavazza. It's nothing anyway. Whenever you guys finished with this game, like, can you peek into Rita's game, please? Can I be?
Judith's pulling
no,
rank
it's interesting
here.
because she's up in material, but like I feel it's not a good position though. So.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Now, what is Hungarian coffee?
Here we go.
Kave.
Michael
particular...
Chanetta, and Reka Stari.
Is there a particular way that Hungarians prepare coffee?
Oh, look at that.
What am I not seeing? Tell us.
What does this work, Paul?
I mean,
that's a good move, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
King
she can
G7,
fork,
Queen
right?
G5, King F8, Queen F6. No, I don't think it does work.
May not.
I think it might be a blunder. Actually, King G7.
Well, what about rook G1 check after King takes rook? Rook G1 check with the idea.
King F8.
And then again.
And then Queen H6.
King E8.
And then take the knight.
Then rook E1 check wins your queen. That's what White has been overlooking.
So Paul, can we try King G7, Queen G5, King F8, Queen H6 check, and if King E8, Queen takes F6, so rook E1 check is answered by rook E1 check.
And then the
Queen takes F6.
No, I tell these guys it's check. You have to defend your king.
What am I overlooking? What are we overlooking here?
King G7, Queen G5 check, King F8, Queen H6 check. King E8
check.
King
That's
takes
Hey, right. The rook's checking now.
Yeah, it's got. Oh.
And you hear Mike Walters in the chat say it's check.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh,
okay, thank you, Mike.
See, Paul now listens to Mike,
not
but he
easy
does
to
not listen
say.
to Nick.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys can move on. Thank you
Wow,
for
poor
this
Reka.
chess mom. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
tired. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. But
Rook
now, well,
G7 check.
now the thing is, does White see all this stuff that we just?
Well, White just played Rook G7 check, so White's seen something.
Yeah, probably. So Mike, you had Hungarian coffee. That's good. Well, usually Hungarian coffee is really overburnt. So I actually don't like Hungarian coffee because I like the more Italian, smoother one that extracts the essence but not burns it. So
Judith does not like burnt coffee.
no.
That's funny. Neither do I.
I didn't even know what that was until she pointed it out. It's like, no, they burn it. Like, what are you talking about? And then she kind of like explained it, and then I had good coffee at a place that's not even there anymore. It's like crushing me. So I used to love going to Mazarin in.
Oh, they closed.
Well, they haven't been open, and wow, it's just like devastating to me because like I'm.
I'll tell you, since we're on the subject of coffee, I have to declare I've been drinking coffee for a long time. My favorite coffee of all time is a dark French roast, regular dark French roast coffee. There's nothing like it. It's the Rolls Royce of coffees. Drip coffee, dark French roast.
That is the preferred.
That's it. You want to find your way into my heart, folks.
Dark roast.
Dark French roast. Dark French roast.
I remember when I went with Eliot and Mike Walder, we all went to Mazarin one time right before TNM, and that's where I learned that Mike was a connoisseur of coffee. I think he liked the coffee there. I think he
Is it in Mazarin?
At Mazarin.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, when it was open, I mean, it was like a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Oh, I see.
We went before the start of a TNM, and
nice.
Yeah. Well, what do we think here? Looks like Gadir is playing on the queen side here.
Oh, it's got to be a pretty good Benoni.
Yep.
Yeah, Black Knight will be nice and comfortable on F7 or C4. Or maybe, yeah, it could hop into G4 even. So as long as there's a happy donkey on the board, you know.
Yeah.
You ought to write a book called The Happy Donkey.
The Happy Donkey. It's like a whole study on knights.
Yeah, the happy.
Tim Hortons is the best coffee in the chat.
Never heard of it.
It's in Canada.
Huh.
Is that right? I mean, like, I equate Tim Hortons to like McDonald's. That's like saying McDonald's coffee is the best coffee. Or do I have that all wrong?
You know, there have been times when even McDonald's coffees tasted good to me.
Oh, man, in desperation. I mean, yeah, back in the day. Well, anything can taste good when you're in, like, desperation. And checking on board 2, Eric Lee against Jim Tarjan.
This is a tough game on board 1.
Uh-oh.
Lenderman up for the draw.
I just heard that noise.
Yeah, I think he's had it.
It's too
he
late.
Wants to go to sleep. It's cold
too late.
there and everything.
It's too late.
So yeah.
Lenderman offers a draw with B3.
And it is drawn.
Nice.
17.
Okay.
17 move draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you
Long
guys.
game.
All right.
A long game, says Nick.
Board 2 is now the marquee match.
Board 1.
Yeah, board 1's done. That's over. This is the new board 1.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna check out, do a few backroom cleaning up and everything, so that I can post the pairings and post the standings as soon as possible. So
Thank
I
you
maybe
for
get
hanging
a little
out with
bit of
us.
coffee.
Yeah, she's gonna go get a coffee because we started talking about it. Enjoy,
Yeah, exactly.
enjoy that dark roast.
Are you having coffee at this hour?
Yeah, I can have, and then goes to sleep. So.
She's
Well, that's probably not true, but yeah, I can.
She's
if I'm
immortal.
if I'm-
She's immortal. She found the
well,
Holy
it was
Grail.
fun hanging out with you guys. It's been a while, so
Thanks,
I
Judith,
miss you guys all.
Yeah.
for hanging out, and we'll see you in the back room.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, Judith.
Judith Starre, Chief TD, and critical member of our team, making sure everything goes right every week. Let's see. Let me fix put your name there. And there we go. So what do you think of this here? Like it's who's got the fighting chances?
Yeah, it ought to be about even. It's so what about knight a4?
Yeah, knight a4.
Flopping around.
White's kind of playing without much gusto here, I think, and black is. This opening has gone well for black, obviously.
And then in board 3, let's see how this is developed. This is David Askin and Kyron Griffith. And this seems to be a type of position Kyron usually enjoys, right?
I think he was upset at losing that last game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Had a good position.
This is surely advantageous for black, but still, you gotta find a way in.
And we haven't checked on Eliot yet. Let's jump over there. He's playing white against Jeffrey Wang.
In fact, white's close to winning a pawn. Black's close to winning a pawn. Well, maybe not.
5, 2, 4, 6.
That's a monster bishop at d5.
A monster bishop.
The monster bishop.
Like the bishop.
Well, black is going to have an equally nice bishop at d4. So.
And a couple of strong kids doing battle here. This is Daniel Lynn against Nicholas Wang.
Some kind of London system, King's Indian.
Yeah, things developing.
Black looks like he's doing fine here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so we've seen this. Stearman played something like this too, didn't he? Except for he had c5 and c4 in. But this is a very solid setup with the black pieces against this Carlson-London system, right? Knight c3 and bishop f4.
It helps that you don't have your pawn on e6.
Right. Okay. So that's the secret. Don't put your pawn on e6. Fianchetto the bishop and put your bishop on f5 and your pawn on h5 if white plays h4. Or even if white plays h3, I guess.
But yeah, that white pawn on h4, that just seems funny. What's it doing there?
Knight b6, black's last move is a little. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand these positions very well, I think. It's just.
Let me flip to
very lugubrious.
Lugubrious. I'm going to have to look that up.
Me too.
Here's the.
I used. Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
I think it means something.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Probably means.
So look at Tarjan here. Doesn't take on c5. He's trying to trap the bishop at c5. Does he have time to play a5 or something? No, I guess an a4.
His minor pieces are coordinating well.
I don't know what to think of this position.
Probably Tarjan has to move that knight on b2 to d3 before it gets trapped. Oh, that's a good move. Where does bishop has to go to b4?
Oh.
And then knight b4 and rook takes d4.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Just breaking through.
And then rook to c6 is met by probably something horrible like rook d1 and bishop d3 check. That can't be good for white. Tarjan's just White's play in this game has just been not inspired.
I kind of seemed like he sort of got led into waters he may not have been fully comfortable with. He's just been capitalizing on that since.
I mean, rook d4 is just, I think black's winning now. This is just bad. This is horrible for white. This is just resign. I mean, if rook c6, rook b4 is probably good enough.
Impressive play by Tarjan.
Yeah, it's just crushing position.
Really, I mean, both players played a really great opening, but then White lost his way a bit.
Yeah, that's what seems to have happened. I mean, this position's almost as bad as that Stearman game we were looking at from the first round.
Yeah, pretty incredible. I mean, even international masters are susceptible to that momentary slip up where then all of a sudden just something went wrong.
Maybe not quite as bad. So what? Rook c6, rook b4, maybe go back rook c3.
Yeah, and try to hang on.
Maybe rook d1 check is better than rook takes b4. Just doesn't look very good for white.
Let me take a look at the top board in the under 1800 section. What do you make of this? This is Sebi Suarez against Patrick Donnelly. Both players 3-0, but look at this. Sebi just played.
Queen takes d5.
Queen takes d5. Yep.
What was on d5?
Knight.
Yeah.
And that looks like a full piece up.
That looks like it's decisive, yeah.
I mean, we're threatening.
Black was probably hoping for queen takes rook and then muddied waters with knight f4 or something.
But this is like it's like even more than a piece. This is like close to game.
Yeah, maybe you have kind of an attack plus a piece.
Something went wrong for black in the opening.
Yeah. Going back to
White has a crushing advantage.
Going back to Eliot's game here, just launching those pawns forward.
I've noticed that's kind of Eliot's style.
To launch
actually, center pawn started. I've always wondered about Eliot. What kind of style does he have? But it seems to have something to do with pushing center pawns, and like Botvinnik.
I feel he would somehow find a way to disagree with that.
But I'm beginning to say he can't disagree with it now. I've decided. That's the player he is. He's a Botvinnik center pawn pushing kind of guy. You know, he may try to deny it, but that's, you know.
And going back to the David Askin, Kyron Griffith game here.
You want it?
All right, Kyron's trying to press, but David's hanging tough. It's still nothing very much.
And if White can just liquidate these, well, you know, a bunch of pawns, get easier for him.
He's just going to try to put. He's going to try to put slow pressure on David, as is his style.
Yeah.
Well, check this. Let's go to this game. This interesting match. This is Alan Finkelstein against Vishwa Nanuganda. We're already at this position here. Move 32.
Wow.
So somebody's calling us the trifecta. Nick.
The trifecta. The big three.
And Alan Finkelstein got it done. He's up a piece already here.
Yeah.
So good win for him. Checking on this game. This is Stuart Katz out of Sacramento against U.S. Chess's John Hartman.
Oh, okay.
You know, Nick and Abel and I, we work for Big Chess. So
we
trifecta for Big Chess.
We made it big.
Yeah,
it was really cool that John reached out to us looking to put his foot in the water of the TNM. So welcome.
We made him an offer he couldn't refuse, right?
And yeah, I mean the quality of our players, especially in the open section, even our 1800 plus, whoever they are. Strong competition. So nice to have someone from U.S. Chess getting the experience here. Back to this game between Tarjan and Eric Lee.
Oh, now what happened here? It didn't take on C6.
You want me to go back a few?
Yeah, just go back a move.
So that's what we left with when you'll see it soon. We took the pawn, and then Bishop C4.
Yeah.
And then Rook H4. King D2, check. This is the current position.
White's hanging on by a thread here.
Well, is that now two pawns? You take the bishop on C4, take the pawn on H3.
Yeah, this doesn't look very fun for White.
Yeah. So really,
and then you've got this nice passed H pawn.
Yeah, this is just horrible. 2 pawns down and Well, I mean, White's gonna have to win a pawn back somehow, like Rook A1, or I don't know. How's he
Anybody,
gonna do it?
anybody watching, if you haven't already done so, just click the purple follow button and follow Mechanics Chess every time we come on live. We come on live for our Tuesday night marathon and our arenas from Paul on Tuesdays and Nick on Thursdays.
And Black can also play Rook D3 check and Rook D2 check and Rook takes F2. I mean, this is an embarrassment of riches here.
And look at that. He doesn't even need to take H3. He's just opened up another.
He's going for Rook D3 and Rook takes B4 or something. This is just, it's getting bad.
And how much of this might be that, I mean, Eric put a lot into that big win against Kyron Griffith, but does that drain you where when you got the
I don't know. I mean, I got into some trouble in the opening, so. I don't know this book, The Attack by Dansky. Is that a chess book or a fictional book or what? What is that book? Do you know it, Nick?
Oh, I haven't heard of it. You know, it's
The Attack by Iakov Dansky. You have heard of it?
no, I haven't. He says it's about Tal, but that's good name for a book about Tal, but
it seems to me that the field is open for writing a good fiction book about chess.
Oh yeah, especially now. Look at this. Everyone's
I mean,
we got pawn chains like crazy here.
this is Eliot, Mr. Center Pawn. I'm going to start calling him Mr. Center Pawn.
but this game is very sharp. Those black pawns are also very strong. So.
You watch, Nick. I mean, now that I've identified Eliot's characteristic trait, you're going to see it over and over and over again.
He's a,
Center Pawn, Mr. Center Pawn.
He's like
Dr. Whitehead, do you think that's because he had a difficult childhood, or was,
I know
his
Paul makes it sound like he's
in school that he took these center pawns?
It was some childhood trauma for sure. You know, I mean,
makes it sound like he's mapped the genome of Eliot's play. But who's going to get there first? Because it looks like
this is scary.
Yeah, he sort of got back in there because those pawns weren't that far ahead when we were last looking at it, and they somehow just got pushed.
We're seeing the chess struggle in action here. Can White afford to do this? What about B3? Takes, Rook C3, Queen C3, and B2. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, this is extremely sharp. I think you have to be a computer and calculate it. If I were international master Eliot Winslow, I'd say, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I wanted some game where, you know, it's safe or something, but now anybody can win this game.
Well, I mean, Mr. Center Pawn does nothing but play the wildest chess week in and week out, you know? I mean, we try to buttonhole him as an old guy that, you know, just wants to play it safe, but no. He's out there sacking it up and
hello,
playing like a wild man.
Evan Rabin, how's it going from Premier Chess in the chat? And Evan will be streaming the U.S. Amateur Team North and South coming up. So good luck with that coverage. This weekend, Glenn Panner and Merritt Thorpe of Chess Weekend are doing the U.S. Amateur Team North. And then at the end of March is the Amateur South. So thanks for checking in, Evan.
What would have happened after rook b3, rook bc3, queen c3, rook c3, b2? Just going for it. d7. I don't know. Yeah, d7.
Yeah, somehow maybe white needs to go d7, e6, open up for some attack.
And if there's any teams out there still looking to play the Amateur North, click the link in the chat. Still time to register and be a part of that action. Let me do a quick check-in on Eric Lee and Jim Tarjan here. Eric trying to fight back.
Doubled rooks on the 7th, but they're not.
Oh, bishop
so
f5
right
is
now.
a nice move. Oh, that is very disheartening.
Oh, wow.
White must give up his rook or something for the bishop. This is hopeless. Of course, it's not over until it's over, right?
Let's flip over to David Askin and Kyron Griffith's game. So has Kyron been able to create some incremental advantages here?
He's opening the game up for the bishop. That's got to be good.
Yeah, I mean, still a little better, but not winning anything yet. I mean, knight on a4, it can go to the c5 square. So,
Yep, it's not over yet, for sure.
Quick check-in on this game between John Hartman playing black against Stuart Katz. Still a game.
Yeah. Sharp somehow. What's going on? That knight on f5 looks like it could get in trouble.
Although it can still go to g4. Somehow it looks like black should be good here, but...
Yes. Bishop on a7 is good.
And guys, we have a result. Jim Tarjan has defeated Eric Lee. He resigns after rook a2 check here. So Jim Tarjan is going to be going into next week's round 5 as the only player with 4 out of 4.
Oh, I thought he drew a game.
Oh, he did draw. That's right. He drew David Askin. So there's no perfect scores. There'll be no perfect scores. So going back to, why am I watching that game there? It's Eliot.
Did he have to resign the game? Oh well.
Here's Eliot's game. Yeah, no perfect scores heading into next week, which is fantastic because we're going to have some great matchups.
Eliot is on the brink of perpetual check.
On the brink of perpetual check. Is he going to need perpetual check?
Yes, what does he do? Like, if the king goes back to G8, can he try to win the game? It's looks hard.
It's an honorable result.
I think he's I think that's what he's looking at.
If king to G7, he can try pawn to F5 to try to win the game. Try to open up that black king a bit more.
Yeah.
But those black pawns are just running.
Still, you're right though. F5 is an interesting move. I like it because then you can still play Queen E7 check on the next move if you need to.
And Mike Walder's saying White's winning. Chelsea won her game too. It's good to see she rebounded from the round 3 loss.
F5 is a nice try, Nick. Sure, why not? You only live twice. Actually, I mean, that's I guess one of the things that keeps older players sharp is that they can play with a sense of freedom, maybe.
You've abandoned worrying about rating points, things of that nature.
Right. I mean, Tarjan comes back after 30 years. I mean, when he quit chess, he probably also quit his ambition of becoming the world champion, right? And so... and
did he have that? He had that?
Well,
actually?
Of course, he must have. Every young grandmaster has that, I think. And so now he knows he's not going to be the world. Now he can play with abandon. Maybe the game will go Queen E7 check, King H6, Rook H5 check. G takes H5, Queen. Oh, he can't play Rook H5 check.
Almost.
Pinned. Yes. Oh, Eliot, go for it. Play F5. You're not going to be world champion anymore.
So he's just... And Mike's imploring him to go F5 in the chat also.
I mean, also, Eliot has won the world, the Tuesday night marathon numerous times. So he doesn't even have to prove anything in this tournament. And the main thing is that the spectators want blood.
That is the real reason. We just want to see some action.
Yeah. You have to play for the gallery.
So you're trying to drum up the action by telling them, hey, you know, you're at the prime of your life. You don't have to worry about the position.
Right.
Yes, if only he could hear our broadcast.
Yeah. Let's check on Chiron real quick as Eliot is pondering whether to risk everything he has on that move.
Well, we need Eliot to help us out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Chiron's trying to win some tiny endgame edge and grind it down. So Eliot's game is just a complete utter mess. A little more entertaining right now.
I think Chiron is getting the job done here, slowly but surely.
He's got David 4 minutes on his clock.
Yeah, this is tough, very tough for White now, I think.
Oh, threatening bishop e2 and knight d4 check. So
maybe knight f3. I don't know.
Let's check this game we haven't looked at yet. This is Max Howe, who constantly changes his profile name. Nicholas Rage.
Yeah.
Nicholas Cage. He's playing Raymond Larden.
Now, Max is a player that we can be pretty sure is monitoring the chat, right?
Yes.
So, Nick, we can't say anything.
Although
Okay.
he has not been in the chat tonight, I have to say. I have not seen him. And congratulations to Sebi Meister. Sebi Suarez gets a win. He's got a perfect score.
Congratulations, Sebi. Must be that endgame class you're taking at the mechanics.
The lab and mechanics. I got to talk to Judith, but we were sort of joking, but not full joking. We were pretty half serious. We may have to have him play up in the under 1800 because he's just been doing so well in the games at the marathon. We'll give you an exemption so you can play up. Let's Eliot. Let's see what he's done. He's still it is done.
Tough game.
He did it. F5 is on the board.
Wow, this is a dramatic game.
Well, he's made everybody happy.
And that F5 move looks like a really nice move. And now he can safely take a draw by perpetual check. Well, what? Rook F2, King H3 was suggested here. King H3 wins according to, I mean, it makes sense that White's attack is now huge and overriding the black pawns, which are not far advanced enough yet.
This is tough. But King H3 would win because now you take out the pin.
Yeah, but
is the idea.
B3. Rook F8 on.
Yeah, it's quite a long GH3, B3, and just push that pawn. There's always the perpetual, but more than that, not
King
easy.
H3.
Is that what he would be thinking now, that he can play this because he can always bail out with a perpetual?
That's true. If black plays B3, but if black, yeah.
So it's something easy like pawn to B3, AB3, AB3, maybe rook F2, B2 or something, rook F5, give him another queen, so you're a full queen up. You're trying to attack with the rooks and queens.
But rook F7 check would just win the game then, right?
Yeah, that would be checkmate. So maybe you have to sack your queen first.
I think black's in trouble here, huh? Maybe he has to play rook F8.
As we wait to see what happens here, look at this game between Daniel Lynn and Nicholas Wang.
Oh, black is doing quite well. He's busted up the queen side there.
Yeah, good structure.
Yeah, nice structure for black, for sure. Has to watch out for something horrible happening.
And then back on Kyron's game against David Askin. And Askin at 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Well, now you can take on e2, play knight d4 and rook c2 check. Is that enough? Oh, knight c3. Oh, that's horrible. Threatens knight d1 check. That seems to win on the spot. Yeah.
No way out. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, just a simple move. Nice.
After a tense battle, suddenly one move and it's over.
Yeah. Knight takes c3, b takes c3 check, and the knight and king are forked. Well, white goes down, loses a whole rook after knight d1 check.
Yeah. And resigns. Kyron Griffith takes down the game. Nice bounce back from the earlier game. Checking on Eliot.
Mr. Center Pawn.
Tyrone came back, and Eliot lost last round too. So can he come back?
Yeah, queen b6 was a nice little move to play lateral defense, I guess. I guess it was.
Could you play like rook takes f5, queen h6 check, king to g4? So you're ready for rook g5 check.
And Michael Walter likes rook d6.
Rook d6 and that queen, it can't advance. It's
All right, now things look pretty
Black
scary.
desperately needs a piece to defend the king side for sure.
Now this is very scary.
Still rook d6, queen to b5, and there wasn't a check.
So rook f5 might be better, huh? The threat is rook g5 check.
Yes.
Black is going to need to give up his queen here, I think. But then he's lost.
What if you just play like, oh, I wasn't going to do it that way.
Or queen c6 check, you try for some kind of perpetual. King g1, that doesn't work. Rook g7, rook g5 check. And then you get hit with queen e5 check at the end, getting mated. This guy, you're mated. King g1.
King g1, can you go?
Queen b6.
I was trying pawn to b3, hoping for rook g6, 5 check, queen to g6, sacrifice the queen, just try to run a pawn through.
I like your king g4 move better, maybe. Well, if black plays rook d7 here, he's just mated. Rook g5 check, king h8, queen e5. I'm afraid the game might end like that. What about queen b6 check? What do you think, Nick?
Kind of an interesting. Well, then the rook on c2 to f2.
Oh, yes.
Would you stop with, I mean, it looks bad. You start with pawn to h6, just stop a check.
Oh, wow.
It looks terrible.
What an amazing move.
You know, there's a little point to it. Something like h6, rook f4, then you can go rook takes d7.
Wow, look at that. h6.
Wow.
Did it? Okay.
Played it.
And black has offered a draw.
That's quite a move, h6, and offered a draw.
Yeah, offered a draw.
Wow, what a position to offer a draw in.
Oh, yes.
What about
Kinda
rook
like
f6?
that.
Rook f6 has to win here, right?
What happens on rook d7?
Yeah. Right.
Oh my gosh, rook d7.
Yeah, rook d7.
Wow.
It's tricky.
You're right. What a move.
It's a good time to offer a draw, too. Play a tricky move. You don't know what's going on.
What about rook f7 is met by queen g6?
Yes, and you're still in it.
And then if white doubles the rooks, is he threatening rook f8? No. Incredible. Incredible. So yeah. Huh.
Now, if rook to f4, rook takes d7, rook g4 check, king to h8, queen e5 check, king h7, queen f5 check, king h8 looks like a perpetual.
Is there a rook hanging on b8? No.
Aha. Yes. Yes. So rook f4.
See, I deserve to be the 3-time U.S. champion now.
Playing
Very much.
Not
Although rook f4, queen d7 probably is just extremely good.
And then if rook g4,
You take
king.
it.
Ah, yeah. Oh, you take it. Yikes. That's right. And then b3. And then another whole mess of a position.
Eliot, 3.5 minutes. Judith's saying in your next life, you could be a 3-time U.S. champ.
Yeah, maybe Tiddlywinks champion.
Quick peek at Stuart Katz and John Hartman here. Still
Rook f7, queen g6, rook f6.
still a game here. A lot of games are winding down. Let's stay on the big game here between Jeffrey Wang and Eliot Winslow.
Oh, Paul, I like your move. That rook f7, queen g6, rook f6.
Wait a minute. What about queen f7, check, king h8, rook f6? Oh, again, there's that rook d7 move. What move did you like?
It's like you lose your variation.
Yeah.
Sorry, what you were saying, rook f7, what move?
Queen g6,
Rook f6,
then queen g7.
queen g6, oh, queen g7, queen e6 check,
Eliot plays queen f7 check and rook f6. And now on rook d7, what's he got?
Well, I don't like this. I think he screwed up. I think he screwed up.
Does he have queen g6?
Yes, but that rook is on the 7th rank, helping to guard the king.
They can block.
Rook d7. Oh, poor Eliot.
Now, if things go this way, he plays rook d7. Is black now?
Looks like black's winning.
And played. And there he is. Max is in the chat now.
Eliot's overplayed his hand. Black probably has a number of ways to win this. Maybe.
Yes. Yes, it's
starting with some kind of mating attack of his own with rook d1 check. Maybe.
And done.
King f2. Queen c5 check. I don't know. Maybe it's not that clear.
Oh, I'm not sure about that check because now it's not a defender anymore.
Right. But the players have no time to think.
But black does. Still has 3 minutes 45 seconds.
You're right, Nick. Rook d1 could have been a horrible blunder. What happens after king e2? Attacking the rook at d1.
Oh, wow. King e2. What a move. Brave. Very brave. Really find it.
Queen e5 check, king takes d1.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at that.
Oh, wait a minute. No. If king e2, queen e5 check, Nick. King takes d1, rook d8 check. King c1, queen e1 mate.
Yes. Yes.
So he has to play king to g2.
What of queen g1 here?
King h3.
And then queen f1.
Rook takes f1.
Oh, yeah. That'll do that.
But queen g5 is a good defensive move.
Ooh. I hate these queen and rook things, with the queens exposed and everything.
Too much going on, huh?
You never figure it out. There's all these unfair results. Somebody falls for some shot and
few games remaining. This is one of them. How does black follow up here, though?
Well, Nick likes queen g5, and that looks like a powerful move.
Break the attack, your pawns on the queen side win.
I like how Michael Walder comes in with, yep, this wins, and
like with certainty. Yeah.
Yeah.
With certainty and with authority.
All right. Well, he can play queen g5 after the king moves. I wonder if Eliot's as addicted to time pressure as he used to be.
And now both players are.
I don't think Karen's in the chat. I don't think. Yeah, White had. I don't.
Right.
Nick and I never saw a clear win. I think, or did we?
Not a certain win. It looked very promising, and your rook f7 was better than what Eliot played. Now it's difficult, but keep the queens on and pray. He has to go queen f7. Isn't good, but
Well, who's having more fun in this position?
at least he did it quickly.
Change move to move.
And now black, I don't think black has time to play b3. I think black needs to, I mean, this position is so tense. Queen g7 maybe?
And then queen e6, you've got threat still.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to chase the queen into e6. This game is just too much. Rook g8 threatens rook queen g4 maybe.
Yeah, he did it. Now, but queen g4 is not a threat of mate.
No. But queen h4 might be a move. No. What am I talking? I'm getting these crazy ideas.
But can black threaten to go rook g1 to threaten
rook g3? Yeah, I mean, white seems to be in trouble here. White needs to find a threat.
Queen e6 has a least threatens check.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Black can exchange queens now.
Trades the queens. But, okay. Trade queens, take on h6 and go rook to b.
And we'll go rook b6.
Yes.
And if rook d2, you can take and play rook d2.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, we'll go.
There's probably a tactical win for black, but on to a3 maybe.
Pawn to a3 is risky. Wow, would you play that? Gee.
Yeah, but
so risky.
Seconds on the clock.
Yes.
White's in trouble. He has to try a3. Has to.
Or back up with rook c1 so that it must be lost for white, but
he has to. Oh no! Well,
okay, must trade. Oh no! Go down!
Yeah, I would have thought he should have played king a1.
King d3 forced.
Maybe black's not winning anymore.
Oh, black is winning. Pawn to b3 and rook to c1 will win the game.
And rook to b1, yeah. Oh, Eliot.
There it is.
Sadness.
Fantastic win by Jeffrey Wang. Getting himself out of the dark waters and
did what he had to do.
Getting a win when it looked bleak. And this is one of the final games going. John Hartman against Stuart Katz.
Hey, let's. I just want to say that I miss Alexi in the chat. I guess they're having some difficulty in Texas with blackouts.
Oh yeah, because she wasn't in the arena also. So yeah, that might be what.
Oh yeah, the weather in Texas is terrible.
Well, white is lost here.
And this is U.S. Chess editor John Hartman looking like he's going to get a win here in the Tuesday night marathon. Or is he
getting a little bit complicated?
Or is he?
Black is making it difficult for himself.
Oh boy, one pawn left.
Now he should have played 95. That would have been an easy win.
Oh, now it's not well.
Now it just looks like a draw.
97. Oh no, not doesn't. There's
incredible.
pawn.
It'll be a draw, yeah.
Well, if white doesn't win.
Okay. How did that happen?
Oh, unbelievable.
So yeah, and Judith can verify whether all the games in the round are finished.
It's, Mr. Hartman, chess is tough, I don't know what to say,
Yeah. If it was easy, everyone would be a GM, right? But wow,
Wow, this was a dramatic round.
a lot of action in that round, and it wasn't just your game, John. We had a lot of crazy.
Yeah, we saw some
finales.
topsy-turvy.
And that might be all the games for the round. Judith will verify that really quick, and then we will update the standings. But it looks like we're going to have 3 players in the top section with 3.5, and it looks like it's going to be Alexander Lenderman, Gadir Gusainov, and Jim Tarjan. The 3 GMs are going to be at 3.5, and strong competition at 3, which will include Kyron Griffith and Jeffrey
who else?
Jeffrey Wang, who just
having a breakout tournament,
got that win, and Daniel Lynn also, after he won against Nicholas Wang. That was this game. Let's take a look at the ending of that. He's got that sacrifice in there, that knight sacrifice there. Check, check, and then check there.
Oh, wow. That's a shot. That was White's only hope was this.
I'm winning the queen. That was sad.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do this.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah, that
Black played too quickly in a winning position.
Turned everything around right there.
And turned everything around. Let that be a lesson, of course. Knight G6 was like White's only tactic in this game.
Wow.
So
He seized it though.
That's
take your opportunities.
Yep.
Tough one there. And Judith, are there any other games still going to follow?
The standings have been posted. Wow.
All right, perfect. So there you go. Standings posted, and let's see if I can. Oh, it won't fit into the screen, but I'll tell you. Lenderman, Gusainov, and Tarjan with 3.5. Kyron Griffith, Eric Lee, Arthur Liu, Daniel Lynn, Jeffrey Wang with 3 points.
Tough.
In the under 1800s, Sebi Suarez with 4 out of 4. Second place, Michael Janetta, 3.5, and several players with 3, including Aaron Nikoski, Patrick Donnelly, Daniel Perlov, and Austin Bourdier.
So Sebi's a full point ahead, huh?
A half point ahead.
Oh, a half point.
One player with 3.5. 62 players in total between the two sections. And we are going to have some top tier matchups next week because Jim Tarjan is getting one of the other GMs, and Kyron Griffith will probably get the other one, or Eric Lee. We'll see. It'll be a fun final 2 rounds next week at the Tuesday night marathon. Wow, what a evening of chess. Any parting words before we sign out?
Always check. It might be Nate.
Well, I'm sorry for Eliot for such a. Today was not his day.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but that was a crazy game too. He played in the end. Curious to see how that plays out. I'm certain it'll find its way into the newsletter. So, all right. Well, thank you to Judith in the back room, keeping everything smooth as far as the tournament goes. Next Tuesday, we will have the final 2 rounds of the Tuesday night marathon. And don't forget, this Thursday at 5, we will have Grandmaster Nick DeFermian doing his arena. at 5 o'clock. So, all right. I think we are going to raid Jeff Friedel. So we'll send the players there, and we will see everyone next Tuesday for the final 2 rounds. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone. Good night.